UFC Perth. We are heading down under. Crikey, mate. How we doing, everybody? My name is Young Pasty, and I am here today to give you a pick and a prediction for every single fight on the card. UFC Perth, 14 matches. Some are not really good, some are bangers. But nevertheless, I am excited to give you a pick and prediction for every single one. Some fights that actually stand out to me before we get things started. Obviously, the main event, Ulberg versus Reyes. Gonna be a title eliminator for sure. The co-main event now moved up. Jack Jenkins and Ramon Tavaras going to be a banger for sure. Tom Nolan and Charlie Campbell is gonna be a good fight. Micallef versus Elliot's gonna be a good fight. There's like a really good fight scattered throughout the card. Then you have junk, like fucking Malarkey versus Bedoya. And what's another one? Freaking Carolina versus Montague. Like, I don't know. There's just like a couple of fights where you're like, we could have done without this. You know what I mean? Just because there's lots of fights doesn't mean they're all going to be good, you know? So, as we always do, though, have to break down last time. It's 2 weeks ago now. Pulling the results up here for Noche UFC. And we go 5-7-1. Man, the main card killed me. Those last three, man. John Silva, letdown. David Martinez finds a way to win over Font. Rafa Garcia beats up Jared Gordon, who got in a freaking car accident a day before. Doesn't disclose it to anybody. Still fights. Don't like that at all. But honestly, there are a couple bangers on there. That Jesus Aguilar called that underdog for sure. Alden Correa surprised everybody. Even though I lost, it was a good fight to watch. Man, training with Joshua Van. I mean, what do you expect? You know what I mean? I think Alice Pereira should have got the nod in her UFC debut. It is what it is. And then Hernandez. I said it before. I was like, why is he an underdog? Like, it baffled me. Knocks out Diego Ferreira. Entertainment-wise, Noche UFC was pretty solid. Picks-wise, we could have done a little bit better. Some things didn't go our way. Some things were crazy. But a good card to watch. And look, we're going to do better on the picks this week. I am confident in a lot of these picks. Super excited, again, to break down every single one. And let's just get to it, guys. UFC Perth. We're heading down under. Okay? Australia. Starts at 5 p.m. Eastern. And look, guys, we finally get a card after weeks. Actually, I'd say months. And now it starts at a regular time for us Americans. So I'm liking that a lot. Let's get to it. The main event of the evening for UFC Perth. We have Carlos Ulberg, the Black Jag, versus Dominick Reyes. Odds in the fight, minus 250 for Carlos Ulberg, plus 200 for Dominick Reyes. My pick for this fight's going to be Carlos Ulberg. Man, even though Dominick Reyes has rattled off 3 wins in a row and looked dang impressive, I can't back him. I can't go on his side. I don't know why. And I don't want to discredit his last 3 wins, right? But let's be honest, they're kind of against not the best competition. And we'll go over Ulberg's recent history too, and that's really not that impressive, but like Reyes going up against Justin Jacoby, Anthony Smith, Nikita Krylov. What do all 3 of these people have in common? They're old and past their prime. Carlos Ulberg beating Jan Blachowicz. I'd say old and past his prime as well. Volkan Ozdemir, Alonzo Menafield, Dawoon Jung, and Ihor Pitorio after that. But he's passing every single test on the way up. I haven't picked against Carlos Ulberg. Why am I going to do it here now? What's his lone loss is to, like, who is it? I think it's Kennedy and Chekizulu. I fucking don't know how to say his name. Yeah. Got caught by Kennedy long time ago. I think that's maybe something to bring up because Dominick Reyes has been, catching people 3 straight knockout wins. But I think we're going to see the same thing Carlos Ulberg does in every single fight. He just dances around the octagon. Okay? He has good counters. He comes in with his shots. He's very quick. Good kicks. He's younger. He's surging. Dude's fighting at home in Australia. I mean, he has decent training partners over there at City Kickboxing, so he's getting good looks over there. Now, 5-round cardio hasn't been tested in the UFC. We'll see it here. Dominick Reyes, we know he can go 5 rounds. We know he can go 5 rounds with a former champion in John Jones. And, oh my gosh, like, all these reasons in my head to pick Dominick Reyes, I just cannot back him. Again, I've picked Carlos Ulberg in every single fight, so I'm not going against the grain here. I'm expecting the same old song and dance from Carlos Ulberg. Dance around the octagon, pick your shots, don't get taken down. Like, I would like to see more volume from him and longer combinations rather than these singular kind of shots he's been throwing out. That last performance against Jan Blachowicz, it was just disappointing. Let's be honest. It was. But Reyes, every single time he's fought, the past 3 times, he's putting on a show, right? And Reyes, he's good. Okay, he is good. Accurate striking, power behind his shots, heavy low kicks, proven vet, good head movement, avoids the shots well. I think he's just gonna have a hard time, like, finding the mark on Carlos Ulberg with his movement. I think he might find, and have some good moments, right? But I think Carlos Ulberg over time will just point fight, win minutes. I don't think he's catching Dominick Reyes with anything, right? Dominick Reyes is tough, has a pretty good chin. Now, I will say this, guys. I've been screwing up the main events, okay? So if you want to fade me here, pick Dominick Reyes. By all means, go ahead. I think I've gotten the last 3 or 4 main events wrong, but I cannot pick against somebody I continue to back. It's just against my philosophy. Unless there's just something that's notably a red flag and evident, and it's obvious that they're gonna lose. I got faith in my boy. I got faith in the Black Jag. We're going to pick Carlos Ulberg. Will I put money on him? I'm not so sure. I think he wins it by decision. All 5 rounds. Maybe the 4th and 5th round might get a little sketchy with Dominick Reyes. Again, Dominick Reyes will have moments, right? But I think Ulberg will win the matter of the minutes in the majority of the minutes throughout the fight. So Ulberg by decision is my official pick for the main event. Let's go. All right, moving on to our co-main event. And this was actually supposed to be Ibo Erslan versus Junior Tafa. Junior Tafa withdraws. I think we all know why, because he knows he was about to get knocked the fuck out. But we have Jack Jenkins versus Ramon Tavaras moving up here to the co-main event, and I think deservingly. Jimmy Crute and Ivan Erslan was the next up, but they moved this up here, and I think it's a better fit. Odds in the fight. Minus 300 for Jack Jenkins. Plus 240 for Ramon Tavaras. My pick for this fight is going to be Jack Jenkins. Give me the hometown, home country guy. Jack Jenkins is tough. Got nasty leg kicks. Has a really good high kick too. And he really just needs to keep this fight standing. And he will. Right? Ramon Tavaras ain't going for fucking wrestling or grappling, or maybe he'll have some clinch exchanges on the fence or something. But Ramon Tavaras is a boxer. He's training out of bulldog boxing. Most of his fighting is with hands. Mixes in kicks every now and then, but not really. Something these guys both have in common. Big ass, thick fucking heads. I don't think either of them are getting knocked out. I think Jack Jenkins is going to win this on the scorecard here. He's a tough, powerful Aussie. I think he has better boxing than Ramon Tavaras. Now, both of them are hittable, but Jack Jenkins mixes in more aspects of MMA. He does have wrestling too. He has wrestling and grappling advantage. Maybe that's something that he can mix in, or at least try to implement. Because Ramon Tavaras ain't really going up against people with heavy wrestling and grappling threats. Who do you fight? Davey Grant and freaking Siri City? Okay, Cortavius Romeus, he fought, who is a straight grappler, but he knocked him out so quick that didn't even matter. But, is he going to do that to Jack Jenkins? No. Jack Jenkins' only KO loss came from an injury, right? So, what did he do? Broke his arm or something like that in the Chepe fight? he's a tough guy. He's not going out like that. I just think Jack Jenkins, again, he has more of a better like MMA fighter base than Ramon Tavaras does. Ramon Tavaras is all hands. He's low volume too. He's super hittable. I mean, could he find a nasty counter that could drop Jenkins? Yeah, he definitely could. His counters are actually pretty nice. But this whole time, Ramon Tavaras is just going to be on the back foot. Jack Jenkins is going to be pressuring him, mixing in the kicks, throwing him up against the fence, elbows, good boxing, might get a takedown or two. I think Jack Jenkins is just a much more well-rounded fighter. He definitely needs a win coming off a loss here to Gabriel Santos where he just got bodied on the mat. And I'm sure he's angry over it. I'm sure he wants to get back to it. And I think he gets it done in his home country. Is he younger? These guys are both the same age. Ramon Tavaras will be a little bit bigger. Will have a little bit of a reach advantage. But I think Jack Jenkins will be able to close that distance. Ramon Tavaras ain't going to be picking him apart from range. I don't think that ain't going to happen. But I think it's going to be a fun striking match with Jack Jenkins, being the one to initiate any sort of grappling or wrestling, which he may use for a couple minutes every round. But Jack Jenkins by decision, because Ramon Tavaras is tough, has a thick fucking head. Pray to God that these guys don't collide heads, because, I mean, the force that will come from that is bound to knock both of them out. So, Jack Jenkins by decision is my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right, moving on to our featured fight on the main card. And if you guys are new, please click that subscribe button down there. We are on the road to 400 subscribers. Honestly, I'm trying to hit 500 by the end of the year. So if you could, just click that button for me. It's just a couple of seconds of your time to do that. I would appreciate it. Your support goes a long way. But yes, our featured fight on the main card. We have Jimmy the Brute Crute versus Ivan Erslan. Odds on the fight, minus 185 for Jimmy Crute, plus 150 for Ivan Erslan. My pick for this fight's going to be Jimmy Crute. And, dude, just do your thing. Get takedowns, however necessary, and just do your thing on the mat. Get the sub, top control, ground and pound. Jimmy Crute is a force to be reckoned with when he's on top. Did you see the way that he beat the crap out of Bellato? Like, man, I'm surprised Bellato didn't, end up going out in that fight. But needless to say, and I just think he has the grappling advantage over Ivan Erslan heavily. I mean, you look at the last two UFC fights Erslan's had, right? Cutelaba, able to take him down, and for the most part, outstrike him. Secondly, I mean, he was having trouble with grappling exchanges with fucking Navajo Stirling. Navajo Stirling's a striker, right? Like, why are you having trouble with grappling exchanges with Navajo Stirling, who was able to take you down, hold you down for a little bit? It's just not a good look, right? And Jimmy Crute's out here grappling and wrestling in way better competition, right? You look at the last 5 people Jimmy Crute's fought versus the last 5 Ivan's fought. Jimmy's fighting way better competition. Decent cardio for Jimmy Crute. One thing I don't like about Jimmy Crute, though. Dude's super hittable. Head is humongous. And anytime he gets hit, like his whole face and head just gets rocked and shocks back. Like you can see it. Like the imagery is not good when he gets hit. Even though it might not be a heavy shot, his big ass head just flies back every time you see when he gets hit. So Ivan Erslan could have better takedown defense. Like I would hope he's been working on it, right? If you're going to face somebody like Jimmy Crute, he needs to keep this fight standing because I think he's probably the better striker. Jimmy Crute's a really like his striking's okay, but it's slow. He has power behind it, but it's just not very quick. And sometimes he has trouble avoiding shots, putting his hands up, and he has a big-ass head, a big-ass target to hit. But, man, Erslan, you're losing to Stirling and Cutelaba, He's a little bit older, has short arms. Not little T-Rex arms, but shorter arms than Jimmy Crute. Like, now, prior to the UFC, like, Erslan's fights, they're not lasting long. Right, but once he gets to the UFC, it's a different story. Like it's a different level of competition up here in the UFC. Jimmy Crute's been fighting the UFC for a while, has a lot, I think, better experience than Ivan Erslan does. He has a puncher's chance for sure, I mean, it's not wild for him to win by like a first round KO. Definitely could happen. Jimmy Crute has been rocked and put on the map, and but I just think he's reigniting his career at this point. So I'm gonna take Jimmy Crute, who I'm gonna take him by submission. Fuck it. I think he is leaps and bounds better than Erslan in the grappling. I think he finds probably the rear naked choke. Maybe even, he pulled off the armbar last time, which was nice. He might even find something with the legs too. So the jiu-jitsu is way better than Erslan's. The submission opportunities are going to present themselves. Crute, do your thing. Okay, like I said, get the takedown however necessary. Get it to the mat and do your thing. Period. Your career is reigniting. Let's get another win here. Jimmy Crute, the slight favorite at minus 185 by submission, is my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right, moving on to the next fight. And let me just say this, guys. It's been a long week off. I am just having the best time breaking these fights down. It's good to get back into the fight game again. It's nice to have a week off, but it just felt like so long. But anyway, we have Jake Matthews, the Celtic Kid, versus Neil, the Haitian sensation Magny. Odds on the fight, minus 500 for Jake Matthews, plus 360 for Neil Magny. My pick for this fight is going to be Jake Matthews. I'm going with the younger cat. What is he? He's 7 years younger than Neil Magny. Both these guys have lots of experience in the UFC. Jake Matthews, honestly, I think he's kind of entering, or has been, in his prime now. Look at him. He's 4-1 in his last 5. And his loss is coming to Michael Morales, who, yes, Neil Magny lost to, but he went to decision. He went all 3 rounds with Michael Morales. Neil Magny couldn't leave the first round, I believe, got KO'd to oblivion, right? And the way Neil Magny's been going out here lately, he's, kind of becoming lamb of the week worthy at this point. Yes, he has a win over Zaleski, but Zaleski's looked terrible at this point. But he's losing, obviously losing to some killers. Ian Gary, Michael Morales, Carlos Prates. Beat him Mike Bellato, but was losing up until the last moments of the fight where he took over. A win's a win, though, right? But I just can't deny the recent success of Jake Matthews. Gosh, very impressive first-round win over Chitty, first off. Secondly, well-rounded fighter. He's good in the striking. He's good in the wrestling and the grappling. I think he's better on the fence than Neil Magny. I think Neil Magny, I think Jake Matthews just has enough to beat an aging Neil Magny. Yes, Neil Magny has good UFC tenure. He's fraud checked you if you bad. He's a good fighter. He can definitely pull off crazy stuff, things at points. Again, he's an aging Neil Magny. We don't think Jake Matthews can't beat him. It'll probably be a lot of striking, probably a lot of clinching. I think Jake Matthews is just going to get the best of him in all ways. Maybe even take him down, hold him down there on the ground, and get some nice ground and pound in. He'll be able to, he's not a dummy on the mat, right? He's not going to get himself caught in some stupid submission because Neil Magny definitely could do that off the back. I think he gets some nice elbows off breaks in the clinch. I think he might even be able to pick him apart from range, too, even though Neil Magny is going to be the taller and longer fighter. Oh, gosh. Much taller and longer. 7-inch reach advantage? I don't know. For me to say Jake Matthews is going to pick him apart from range, I take that back. But Neil Magny is not going to pick apart Jake Matthews from range. Hell no. But Jake Matthews can close distance for sure on this range. Gosh. Again, Chitty's super long and taller than him, and he was able to do that with him. Beat a Francisco Prado, who was tough. Beat a taller Phil Rowe as well, who I believe beat Neil Magny. I don't know. I'm not going to go back and look. They did fight, though, I believe. Anyway. I've said it 2 times before. I'm going to say it again. It's hard for me to see an aging Neil Magny pull off a win against Jake Matthews. Jake Matthews is just primed. I think he's looking great at this point. I think he puts on a pretty good 3-round performance and gets a decision win over Neil Magny. A tough fought win. 30-27, 30-27, 29-28. I think he gets 2 30-27s. And maybe one judge gives 1 round to Neil Magny. So We're taking Jake Matthews, and we're taking him by decision. Let's go. All right, moving on to our next fight. We have Tom Nolan versus Charlie Campbell. Odds in the fight, minus 160 for Tom Nolan, plus 130 for Charlie Campbell. My pick for this fight is going to be Charlie Campbell. Give me the underdog. The first underdog I am picking on this card. Dude's training with Merab. He's training with Aljamain. Yes, he's inactive. You're going to hear that a lot. Fighting, 3 times in the last 3 years. I mean, yeah. Not a good look. A little bit older, too, at 30 versus 25 in Tom Nolan. But every time he's gone out there, I just think he's looked much more impressive than Tom Nolan has. And I know Tom Nolan's coming off a good win over Slava Claus. Probably his best win of his career, okay? I'll give you that. Honestly, I was off of Tom Nolan ever since he got knocked out versus Nicholas Mota. Then what does he do? He rattles off 3 wins since. But, let's put this into perspective, right? Charlie Campbell knocking out Alex Reyes in the first round. Tom Nolan going 3 rounds with Alex Reyes. Charlie Campbell, 30-27 over Trevor Peek, beating the crap out of him for 3 rounds. 29-28 with a Borshep, dropping 3rd round on one of the judges' scorecards here. I've just never really been high on Tom Nolan, to be honest with you. He's a long-rangey striker, hometown guy, okay? He's be fighting out of Australia here. He does have grappling and wrestling attributes, which he showed in his last fight. And he just came into the UFC with a ton of hype, which I think has died down here, and that's why you see the odds are where they're at, right? He can just get a little reckless at times, what Tom Nolan does. And when he faces adversity in fights, and things don't go his way, he can just kind of look like a fish out of water and not know what to do. Charlie Campbell is composed in the octagon at all times. When he faces adversity, same thing. He's going to be the one pressuring Tom Nolan. Tom Nolan's going to, kind of be dancing around the octagon here. Campbell, good leg kicks, good feints, right? He's a smart guy, good fighter IQ Campbell has. Striking has power, definitely has better boxing than Tom Nolan. When it comes to striking and boxing, 2 different things, right? Tom Nolan's a pretty good striker. Campbell's a pretty good boxer and a pretty good striker as well. I honestly, I just wish Campbell was a little more there defensively, right? Can get hit at times, but he has a good chin. He has 8 shots before and can recover quickly. But I think he's able to, again, Tom Nolan's going to be dancing around the octagon. I think he's going to be able to pin Tom Nolan up against the cage, get good shots in. He has some nasty uppercut that you'll see that he throws a lot. Get him in the clinch and get some work in there. Maybe even mix in some grappling. Again, he has some nice feints and goes and shoot, pretends to shoot for takedowns all the time. So the thought's always there. And I just think with good cornering, the experience that Campbell has, power, I think he gets it done. Oh, how so? He could find a finish in the later rounds. I think it's going to be tough for him to do it right off the bat, even though Nicholas Mota did. But I think Charlie Campbell can freaking catch him. I'm going to do it. Screw it. Charlie Campbell by KO. That is my official pick for this fight. Let's freaking go. All right, our first fight on the main card here. 2 heavyweights going at it. We have Louie Sutherland, the Vanilla Gorilla. Okay, so I already love this guy's name. The Vanilla Gorilla. You kidding me? Young Pasty? All right. Versus Justin Tafa. Bad man. Fuck the odds. I'm picking Louie Sutherland. 2 reasons why. Number 1, nickname is bad as fuck. It's awesome. The Vanilla Gorilla. There's no way I could pick against this guy. Number 2, auto fade on any of the Tafa brothers. These guys suck. And actually, my boy, the Vanilla Gorilla, is an underdog. Plus 105. Tafa coming in at minus 125. Is there any way I can pick and back a Tafa brother at this point? No. You have cardio for 2 minutes and then you gas out. No ground game. Chinny, hittable, bad movement, pressured easily. Unless you're the one getting shots in and getting the knockout, he's on the back foot. He's losing the fight. He does not look good after 2 minutes in the first round. If he goes to a decision, he loses. Justin Tafa, if he goes to a decision, he's a KO or a bust. He does. His cardio is just so bad. Honestly, I see this fight playing out like the Carl Williams fight, okay? Louie Sutherland looks to be in good shape, better shape than Justin Tafa is. Coming out of freaking Scotland, okay? Shout out to my boy Christian Duncan. But I think he's able to secure takedowns. He's kind of giving me Mick Parkin vibes, right? He's won some sloppy, boring 3-round fights before. So I think he's able to push Tafa against the fence, clinch him up, get a takedown, get some decent ground and pound, and hold him up on the ground. Tafa has no answer if he gets taken down whatsoever. Now, Sutherland, some red flags. I'll just throw them out there, okay? This is a heavyweight fight, right? Anything can go down in a heavyweight fight. And every time Louie Sutherland has stepped up to the big leagues, right? He's 10-3. Every time he's stepped up to the big leagues, he's lost. Lost in PFL and lost in Bellator. Now, he didn't get KO'd. I'll give him that. But every step up to the big leagues, he couldn't do it. Now, is a Tafa brother big league worthy? I don't know. Right? Sutherland can take a hit. He's definitely been hit before, but he can definitely take a hit. Has good volume. Now, he can be put on the back foot and pressured, which I don't like. Pinned up against the cage, which I don't like. But it's more like they'll get 1 or 2 shots in and they'll kind of run away. Sutherland needs to check his kicks. I mean, gosh, he got his leg chewed up, didn't check any of these fucking kicks, just moved forward like crazy. But again, Tafa brothers, auto fade. Sutherland, new guy coming in, has some grappling and wrestling. He can take down Tafa, has power. I don't see Tafa winning this. It's a KO or a bust. I don't see Sutherland getting knocked out. Give me the vanilla gorilla and give me him by decision. All right, next fight. And I believe this is a short notice fight that they added here, or I just missed it. I don't know. We have Navajo Stirling fighting again here. Super active. I like that. Versus Rodolfo Bellato. Odds in the fight -245 for Navajo Stirling, +190 for Bellato. My pick for the fight's going to be Navajo Stirling. I do not trust Rodolfo Bellato at all. He is just not reliable. Not good off the back. I mean, honestly, he should look to wrestle and grapple here. Navajo Stirling really isn't in the best at that, right? But what I like about Stirling is he's showing improvements in every single fight. He himself was grappling and wrestling with Oban Erslan, right? He has good kickboxing, great kicks to all levels, good striking. I mean, if this is a straight-up striking match, he's definitely going to beat Bellato in that sense. Bellato does have some power behind his shots, but can kind of fade in the later rounds and kind of just get on that autopilot, bouncy, kind of, eat shots, throw 1 or 2 out. Autopilot kind of scenario. Autopilot, I mean, like he's just riding a bike, right? Just trying to get through the fight. I like Navajo Stirling, right? I know he's only 7-0. But every fight that he's had, Oban Erslan, Tuco Tokos, Philip Latu in the Dana White Contender Series, you can see him getting better in every single fight. He's getting good looks at city kickboxing. He's going to be taller and longer than Rodolfo Bellato is. As long as he doesn't get taken down and submitted, and it's a striking match, it's Navajo Stirling all day. You're going to give me, I mean, his takedown defense has held up so far. And I think he continues to do so. So Stirling, I say by decision. Because Bellato, dude, got his ass whooped by Jimmy Crute and went on to come out to a draw, right? In those last 2 rounds he won. So he's a tough guy. That's what I'm saying. Kind of hard to take him out. So Stirling by decision. That's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. Moving on to our next fight. Women going at it here. Is this our only women's fight? We have 2 women's fights. Okay. It is Loma, Lookboonme versus Alexia, Thainara. Odds on the fight here, +190 for Loma, -250 for Thainara. My pick for the fight's going to be Alexia Thainara, okay? Give me the surging Brazilian. Give me the energetic, wild, fun, happy, grappling beast, okay? Jiu-jitsu's top-notch. Athletic takedowns, okay? And top control's amazing. So I anticipate her taking down Loma Lookboonme multiple times. because Loma Lookboonme ain't stupid on the ground, right? I think she can find her ways to get up, but Thainara will just get her right back onto the ground. Now, Thainara's striking could definitely be improved, right? It's not very like technical, but she's constantly moving forward, putting out volume, doesn't get tired, does get hit at times, right? But she's not dumb. She can see herself like, if she's losing a striking match, right? She can see that happening. We'll start mixing in the wrestling and the grappling, and she just has this wild, fun energy. I love my Brazilians. The takedowns are just athletic and they come with ease. She hunts for the subs, constant pressure. It's going to keep Loma on the back foot, and she doesn't get tired. We saw her do this for 3 rounds. Okay, didn't get tired at all. So I like Alexia Thainara there. Excuse me, sorry, I sneezed. But don't sleep on Loma Lookboonme, right? Seeing herself at a sizable underdog here, maybe a plus 3.5 might be something to look at. If you think this fight goes to decision, but Loma's constantly rattling off wins. She has 4 wins in a row in the UFC. Now her best one is a while ago in Denise Gomez, which is 3 years ago, right? And a once a year almost kind of fighter, and I'm glad she's getting back out here after a fight 5 months ago. But Estela Nunez, Bruna Brazil, Elise Reed, this is not high level competition, right? Alexia Thainara, I think, is better than all 3 of them if you're doing MMA math here, right? Like, how I see this fight playing out, Thainara by submission. She's going to get an athletic takedown at some point. Going to get Loma Lookboonme uncomfortable on the mat, mix in the ground and pound to find and hunt the submission. So Loma's fighting for points. Only has 1 finish in the UFC. It was a submission over Elise Reed, and she's not subbing up Alexia Thainara. She's not KOing Alexia Thainara. She has good kicks, decent volume. Okay, 1-2. She's okay in the clinch, but honestly, I think she's going to get bodied there on the fence as well. She's going to try and do that. She likes to secure takedowns and work on top. But we're going to see Thainara just accept that position on the mat. No, she gets stuck on the mat there. No, I don't think so. She's going to do what she can to hunt for a sub or get out of that position. So I got Thainara. I got her by submission. That's my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right, moving on to the next fight. And we got a good one here. This is a banger. I went back and forth on this. It was really hard for me to make a pick on this fight. We have Jonathan Micallef, the captain, versus Oban Elliot, the Welsh gangster. Odds on the fight. Plus 105 for Micallef. Minus 135 for Oban Elliot. My pick for this fight is going to be the captain. Give me Jonathan Micallef. Give me the underdog. It was tough for me to pick this. And man, what a disappointing loss from Oban last time. Losing to Seok Hyun Ko. Dude, he just was bodied, manhandled for 3 rounds. That loss fucked me big time on my bets. For sure. He just got handled on the fence and the mat by Ko. I mean, he survived, right? But physically and athletically, he just, from man to man, just got owned. And it is hard for me to not recognize that and see that. And in hindsight, his 3-fight win streak in the UFC really isn't that impressive, right? Beat a Val Woodburn, had to go to decision by him. Bo Nickel knocked this guy out. Bo Nickel really ain't that good, right? Preston Parsons, who's out of the UFC, had to take him to decision. Basil Hafez, yes, he knocked him out in the 3rd round with a nice shot, right? But first 2 rounds were competitive. And he really wasn't owning and dominating the fight like you think he would. Then he comes out as a minus 500 favorite and flat out drops the fight. So, and the way I see Jonathan Micallef, he's big, he's strong, he's athletic, he has grappling and wrestling too, has a submission off the back in Dana White Contender Series. Looked great against Josias, even though the 3rd round kind of faded, right? I just think Micallef can take this, dude. I backed the dog last time. I backed Micallef last time versus Josias as a big dog, and he comes out with the win there. Kicks are nice. The rear kick is powerful as hell. Decent 1-2. Nice left hand. He has a physical and athletic advantage over Oban Elliot, in my opinion. Right? In my opinion. Oban Elliot does have wrestling and grappling that he can use, but like, I think Micallef has him there with the, again, just the physicalness and athleticism that he brings. He's powerful, dude. Has good cardio, too. Went all 3 rounds. I mean, Micallef can be put on the back foot. I do anticipate Oban Elliot probably being the pressure fighter here, even though Oban Elliot is usually the one on the back foot. I don't know. Maybe we'll see Micallef be the pressuring fighter. I don't know. We'll see who dominates it in that fast. I anticipate Oban Elliot probably pressuring Jonathan Micallef because Micallef likes to throw that back kick to kind of move him forward a little bit when getting pressured. And I don't think Oban Elliott's going to pin him up against the cage and, find his shots there. It could happen at times, and that has happened to Micallef in the past, but I don't see it happening. Josias really hit him good with the jab, Micallef. So if Oban Elliott can throw that jab out there consistently, that might be something that'll, pay dividends in the later rounds of the fight. But damn, Micallef's kicks are nasty. He has power in the hands. He can mix in the wrestling and the grappling. He is more physical and athletic and bigger than Oban Elliott. I think he can't do what Ko did and manhandle him, but I think he can throw trips, get him on the ground. I mean, Micallef has wrestling and grappling. We really didn't see it in the last fight because they were just kind of striking together. But he might mix it in after seeing Elliot get handled and bodied by Ko. So I got Micallef, the underdog, and I got him by decision in this fight. Let's go. All right, next fight. We got Andre Petroski versus Cam Rowston. Odds in the fight -145 for Petroski, +120 for Cam Rowston. My pick for the fight's going to be Andre Petroski. Cam Rowston making his UFC debut 1 month after his Dana White Contender Series win. He is a promising prospect, right? But you're going up against a serviceable Andre Petroski who, honestly, first off, Cam Rowston, this is his second time on Dana White Contender Series. His first time and his first loss, not his first loss, but his first time on Dana White, loses to Torres Finney. You know what happens? He gets taken down all 3 rounds and handled like that boring Torres Finney style, right? Andre Petroski can do the same exact thing, right? If he has a grappling advantage here, which he does, has way better jiu-jitsu, I think he's able to take down Cam Rowston. I think he's able to hold him down there on the ground for 3 rounds. Now, if they're standing and striking, it's going to be sketchy moments because Cam Rowston is tall. He's got really powerful hands. He's good knees. He's very tall and long for middleweight. Like, he's 6'3", 75-inch reach. Trained out of City Kickboxing, so he has good kickboxing and striking skills. Also has submission wins, but I can't see him doing that to Andre Petroski at all. It'd have to be a club and sub kind of thing. But the thing I don't like about Cam Rowston is sometimes he's almost willing to get taken down and will accept that position. And I don't see him finding any submissions off his back here. And really, this loss to Torres Finney was 1 year ago. Did he make those drastic improvements to get and improve his takedown defense and up against a guy like Andre Petroski here, who has tons of fights in the UFC, has been able to handle people on the mat? I mean, Budka, Frem, Vieira. Not like the best competition, but better than people Cam Rowston's facing. And is able to secure takedowns and hold them down on the ground. But one thing I will never forgive Petroski for is knocking himself out over Malkoun. Going in for a takedown and knocking yourself out. Dude, that shit pissed me off and cost me so much money that night. And it's just a salty taste I'll forever have in my mouth. I will never forgive you for that, Andre Petroski. But he's a tough Philly boy. And I think if he uses the same game plan that Finney did, get takedowns, hold down Cam Rowston, he should be able to take this fight and win it. So Petroski by decision is my official pick for this fight. However, I would not be surprised if Cam Rowston comes out here and starches Petroski. I wouldn't. Edmund Shabazian just pulled off a decent 3-round decision win over Petroski. And it looked good in the striking aspect. So again, Cam Rowston could adopt that game plan too. Avoid the takedowns. And if there's no takedowns, again, this is going to be sketchy for Petroski. So I favor the UFC experience. I favor the grappling advantage that he has. But if it becomes a striking match, it's going to be Cam Rowston probably all day. So my official pick is Andre Petroski by decision. But I mean, I'm not saying it with a high level of confidence. So that's my official pick. Let's go. You guys remember when I said earlier in the video that there's some fights on this card that we probably could go without? I would say this is one of them here. So Colby, Thicknesse versus Josias Musasa. Odds on the fight: plus 140 for Colby Thicknesse, minus 170 for Josias Musasa. Man, my pick for this fight is going to be Colby Thicknesse. Screw it. I mean, first off, his name says it all. Thicknesse. That head is thick as fuck. It is hard to knock this guy down and take him out. He has taken some heavy, heavy shots from people in the regionals and by freaking Elliot Toporia's brother. He's been dropped hard, but he can get back up, recover himself. Has cardio for 3 rounds. He's honestly kind of giving me AJ Cunningham vibes with more wins. AJ Cunningham has a lot more losses. But he's tough as nails. He just can't really put it all together in the octagon at times. Big step down in competition, though, from fighting Topuria to Josias Musasa here, who just got completely fraud-checked by Carlos Vera. Clubbed and subbed. Head kick, bam, choked up. Very easy. Got that back easy, put the submission in. Musasa tapped with no hesitation. Don't like that at all. Musasa's just a striker, bro. Decent striking, long arms, has power. He'll wrestle you and kind of stand-up wrestle you. He has offensive wrestling, but he could have gotten submissions and had submission opportunities. He just didn't really know what to do them in previous fights. And I do respect the grind and the way that he got to the UFC, fighting out of Congo, working your way up, gritty, tough. But he's fighting nobodies in fucking the Republic or whatever it is in fucking Congo. Not fighting the best competition over there. You know what I mean? He's a guy who constantly puts pressure in your face, and it's just a forward striker pretty much. And then he'll clinch you up on the fence to recover and kind of take little breaks and then get back to it. I just think Colby Thicknesse, the reason I picked him is he's gonna give Musasa a lot of different looks. Thicknesse has some slick movement, switches up stances, moves around the octagon, throws out some kind of wild and crazy shots. Again, he's stepping down in competition. It's his home country. I think maybe at times he might get rocked, but it's like a comeback win kind of thing. Right? And look, Josias Musasa had cardio. Dude can go 3 rounds. I will say that. But he does, like I said, likes to take those little breaks on the fence, but he can go 3 rounds. Colby Thicknesse, though, going 3 rounds with Topuria is a big statement for me. Short notice fight, right? Doesn't come through on Dana White Contender Series. And by the way, Josias Musasa won by split on Dana White Contender Series. Still gets a contract. That's crazy to me. I'm not Dana White, though. Submission wins for Thicknesse in the past. Has a better ground game than Musasa, which Musasa does. I mean, doesn't really have a ground game that we've seen, right? Maybe Thicknesse takes a plan. What the fuck is this on my hand? Maybe Thicknesse takes a plan to just take down Musasa, hold him there, do a gritty kind of fight like that. The fighter IQ for Musasa is low. I don't like that at all. I'm gonna go with the more well-rounded fighter in my eyes. And surprisingly an underdog here. Colby Thicknesse is my pick for this fight. Let's go. Alrighty, next fight we have Glass Chin versus Iron Chin. Jamie Mullarkey versus Rolando Bedoya. Odds on the fight minus 105 for Mullarkey, minus 115 for Bedoya. My pick for the fight's going to be Rolando Bedoya. A little bum versus bum here. Bedoya has this weird ass build. Dude looks like a fucking block. Go look up pictures of him. It's one of the weirdest builds. It's kind of like an RDR looking kind of build. Fucking looks weird. Tough sled in the UFC. 3 losses. All by decision. 1 by split. But he's going all 3 rounds with tough competition. And getting his ass whooped. Let's be honest. Now, he's fighting out of Chute Box Lima, who, honestly, that gym's been improving as a whole lately and cranking out some wins. Dude will not give up on himself and has never been KO'd. Unlike his counterpart here, Jamie Mullarkey, who is just, every time he loses, is getting KO'd drastically. Now, yes, it's been a year and 4 months since he fought Rufy. Honestly, I didn't think Mullarkey was coming back to the UFC, given that he's 5-6 in the UFC, right? I mean, what's his best win? Francisco Prado in the past 5 years, or past 5 fights? I just don't trust Jamie Mullarkey's chin at all. If you find one good shot on him, it's done. And yes, Jamie Mullarkey can pull off a 3-round, point fighting, hit you at distance kind of fight. And Rolando Bedoya probably would accept that kind of fight. I mean, they probably want to keep it on the feet and standing, right? So Rolando Bedoya probably has no issue with a striking match. I just don't see Jamie Mullarkey pulling that off. I think that his chin is going to drop. I think it's going to break. I think Bedoya finds some sort of counter shot. I don't think he's going to get picked apart for all 3 rounds. Again, it's a possibility, right? That's how Jamie Mullarkey kind of wins fights. Or a KO like he did in the past. But it kind of just seems like he's point fighting to this point. I like Bedoya. And I think he gets his first win in the UFC here, okay? Go get your first win, Bedoya. I mean, fuck it. Bad record. Foreign land, okay? Backs against the wall. Give me Bedoya by KO. Breaking the glass chin of Jamie Mullarkey for one last time in his home country. Probably should hang up the gloves after this. Bedoya by KO is my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right, next fight. The other women's fight of the night. We have Luana Carolina versus Michelle Montague. Odds on the fight plus 175 for Luana Carolina, minus 220 for Michelle Montague. My pick for this fight is going to be the UFC vet. Give me Luana Carolina. One thing I will say is check weigh-ins here, guys. Please check weigh-ins. Because if Michelle Montague comes in here looking humongous and way bigger than Luana Carolina, I'll tell you right now, I'm going to pick flip that shit like that. Okay? Because Luana Carolina has not fought at bantamweight in, 7 years? Has fought at flyweight since winning on Dana White Contender Series. And all of, prior to that, yes, she fought at bantamweight, but fought at flyweight for the last 7 years. Montague is just she's a bigger girl, right? She just is. And again, honestly, on her side too, just check weigh-ins. Maybe she has some weight cut issues, looking terrible on the scales. I don't know. Montague's a one-trick pony. All of her wins have come by rear naked choke. Her striking is just raw, dude. I mean, it's there, right? She can strike. A lot of her striking exchanges she loses, though. Gets hit a lot. Her defense really isn't that great. And, she's tall and she's long. And that's how, she uses it as a style almost. Rather than, actual skill to her fighting. Her long reach and her tallness. That's what she kind of uses as her style rather than skill, if that kind of makes sense, right? Now, she does constantly move forward. Throws out tons of volume. So I'll give you that. But she's getting pieced up in the making, right? Luana Carolina can definitely find the mark on Montague. Definitely hit her a lot. Takedown defense is pretty solid. Now, Montague gets this fight to the ground, dude. Good luck getting up Luana Carolina. Montague has pretty good top controls. Hunting for that rear naked choke, obviously, when she gets to the mat. So submission would definitely not be out of the question here. It's just, she has little experience. 6-0? 6-0 as a professional? You know what I mean? 2025, you're undefeated, making your UFC debut. 3 bad things. Different organization, 2025, undefeated. This, not a recipe for success in this year, right? We've seen all these O's go to ones. Again, I might pick flip on this. Luana Carolina is really good in space. She keeps distance and Montague off of her, in a striking match. I think she has this all day. Movement's nice. Sound defensively, circles the octagon. I just favor experience over an unproven UFC debut in 2025. Undefeated debut in 2025. On top of that, I will say this one more time. Check weigh-ins. Because I'll tell you right now, Montague is like, which is way bigger than Carolina. She's just going to body her. She's just going to go straight for takedowns and trips and get her on the mat. And that's how that'll work, right? It'll be looking like Tatiana Suarez at Noche UFC. So, Luana Carolina is the pick for now. I'll take her by decision. But don't be surprised if I pick flip. And if I do pick flip, check the Patreon, check the Twitter, check the pinned comment on this video. That's where the decision will be. So, Luana Carolina by decision is my official pick for this fight. Let's go. All right. Our first fight of the night and the last one we are breaking down. And honestly, this fight shouldn't last too long. 2 heavyweight UFC debutants coming at it. Brando Perchapich, the Balkan Bear, versus Alicia Ellison, the Snack Panther. Odds on the fight minus 185 for Brando, plus 150 for Alicia Ellison. My pick for this fight is going to be Brando Perchapich. I don't know, is that how you say it? Perchapich? Now, oh my gosh, sorry. Getting hungry here. Yeah, and so are these heavyweights too. Always damn hungry, and they're hungry for a win for their first UFC fight here. This was supposed to be a Dana White Contender Series fight. I guess Dana just said, fuck it, we need more heavyweights in the UFC. I'm signing both of you guys. Here's a UFC debut. Now you can be UFC fighters. All right. Both these guys have fewer than 6 fights, and they've never been to a third round. So I anticipate this fight not going very long. Brando loves to grapple, goes for it, straight to it immediately when the fight starts. Almost Hamzat-like. Starts clinching, just moves forward, starts punching you like crazy till he gets to the clinch and can take you down. Constant forward pressure. Extremely aggressive. And he's going to be taller and longer and have a longer reach advantage. Now, Ellison, on the other hand, big, aggressive, heavyweight brawler. Has that one-shot ability more so than Brando does. Throws heavy with no regard with what's coming back. And when he does land and connect, he'll follow the shots up with ground and pound on the ground, even submissions. Has this karate, bouncy kind of movement. Needs to check his kicks because they'll get chopped up. And I think Brando might be able to use that if he takes like a more tactical kind of game plan to it. But Alicia Ellison has one loss. Used tons of energy in the first round. Couldn't get the guy out. Gassed in the second. Gets taken down and subbed up and slept. Slept by a submission. Now, he's not the best on the mat if their opponent knows what they're doing on the mat. Brando loves to grapple and wrestle. That's kind of his game, is to use the striking to get you down onto the ground. Ellison gets held up on the fence for long periods of time. I think Brando can take advantage of that. Now, I will say, he doesn't really take damage when he's getting held on the fence and on the mat, but definitely losing minutes in the control game there. But Brando's going to put on the damage. He's not there to just hold you, dude. He is there to take you out. Again, this fight's not going to last too long. I think Brando has the grappling and wrestling advantage. I think he's fighting in Australia here, you know. Yeah. Nice little heavyweight fight to start the card off. They want to start it off exciting and fun. And I don't blame him. And we should have a fun one here. So Brando Perchapich, I'm taking him by KO. That is my official pick for this fight. Let's freaking go. And guys, if you have made it this far, thank you so much. We have concluded the predictions and picks video. I gave you a prediction and a pick for every single fight on the card. If you like the content, please click that subscribe button. We are on the road to 400 subscribers, so your support will go a long way. Patreon is free. Links in the description. That's where you can see all of my bets when I place them. Bets video comes out on Wednesday, but I put my bets in before that because, you know, the odds always sway in the opposite way. So check out the Patreon, subscribe. It's free. Again, links in the description. That's where you can see all of my bets and plays before the bets video drops on Wednesday. We're going to have a great week this week down under in UFC Perth, okay? We're going to freaking win a main event. No, not win. We're going to get a main event pick right, okay, after a very bad dry streak. And we're going to come out ahead on all of these fights here, okay? I got a good feeling. So, Young Pasty, the whitest in the land, out. Let's go.